remember me? I don't look like me anymore, do I? So, I'm Michelle, a naughty nitwit in the sticks, whatever you want to call me. It's still me, just missing a lot of hair. I posted a picture on Instagram yesterday, I think, so this might not be a complete shock to you because if you're on Instagram, you may have seen it. And so you're probably more adjusted to it than I am. Yeah, I cut my hair off. So here, I'm just going to right up front, here's the hair saga. And many of you may be familiar with this because you may have lived it yourself. So, I don't know, when I first started podcasting with Leslie, I had short hair like this. Although back then I used to cover the gray and, I've been covering my gray since my 20s, which was a long time ago. But anyway, so I decided to just stop covering the gray, let the gray go, decided to grow my hair out, went through that whole saga, and then the hair gets grown out, and it's like, now what? Now I wear it up in a ponytail, or I put it up in a clip thing all the time, and I think temporarily I forgot what it was like to grow that hair out. And so I went in and I got a bob, got it, lobbed off, but then I didn't like how thick it not thick. I used to have super thick hair, and over the last 5 years, apparently I have thin hair now. And I'm not sure how that all worked out because I used to be a thin person with thick hair, and now I'm a thick person with thin hair. And I just don't understand. I do actually kind of understand. I understand what happened with the whole thick body thing. I'm not really sure how the whole hair thing worked out. But anyway, here I am. And I recorded a video the other day because I wanted to show you the baby blanket that I got done. And then I just was like, no, I don't like that video. It needs to go away. So I deleted it. And now I want to send the baby blanket to my niece because she had the baby. And so here we are. We're going to take 2, which is kind of not great because then I feel like I just talked about all this, but I didn't really talk to you guys about it because you never saw it. So if you're joining me, I appreciate it. I know I've been gone for a long time. I think the last time I recorded, I was going to get these glasses. I always call them the wrong thing. I think they're progressives, not transitionals, they're progressives. And I haven't been wearing them, to be honest, except when I go to the grocery store, because what I found is they are nice for to see distance. I can see just a tad bit better. You can only correct my distance vision so much, but I could see the leaves on the trees clearer. Or if I'm in the grocery store, the aisles aren't so blurry. I can actually read the sign, of what's down each aisle, which is kind of nice. And I can if I hold my head just right, and the product just right, I can read the expiration date, which is great. That's kind of my goal, is to be able to see expiration dates. But for knitting or reading, being on my phone, stamping, these just don't really cut it like my regular readers do. So I think, I don't know. I've gone in, I've tried to have them adjusted, put them at the right place on my nose, do all these things. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get to the point where I feel like, I can't read with them on. It drives me nuts. So I'll wear them today while I'm podcasting. And then when I go to the grocery store, that's kind of when I wear them. So it's all fine. But at least this way I won't be taking them on and off the whole time I'm recording, if I can resist that temptation. So yeah, I finished my baby blanket, and I also have the information, there it is, of what it's called. It's by Appalachian Baby Designs. It's called Pick a Knit Blanket. And I would have had this blanket done before the baby was born, but she had the baby a little bit early, so she beat me. But nonetheless, I do have it done. And there it is. It's I recommend this yarn. I do really like it. It was recommended to me by one of you. It's a cotton see. See, when I turn like that, you can see like there's really no hair back there. Appalachian Baby Design, U.S. Organic Cotton. I I do like it. It was kind of splitty, which kind of bugged me a little bit, but not enough to say that I wouldn't use the yarn again. I do like it. Feels really nice. It seems like it washed nice. Feels nice. So it's all good. And I made this little card. So this is really weird to me. I think I've talked about before how I used to be, years ago, I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and stamped. Would hardly ever make a card. Like I would never have made a card using just paper, like designer paper before. But now I really like all this designer paper. It's really cute. So there's the cute little card. I did stamp something. It says welcome little one. That's the only stamp I used on there. It's so crazy, but anyhow, so I will get that in the mail to her. And in my video that I recorded the other day that didn't make it to actually showing you, I was showing you on that video this really cute card that I was fiddling with making using okay, so this brand, there's this brand of product, stamps and stuff called Lawn Fawn. They make the cutest, this is just one example of their cuteness. It's very kitsch, very cute. Anyway, I'd made this really cute card I made it for Renata and Connor because, well, I'm going to put it in here and you can see that it says, hey, Big Cheese. Well, like Big Cheese is a nickname that my daughter's boyfriend has. It was kind of a joke at Christmas time. And it's not that funny, me sitting here telling you, but I'm sure you can appreciate anyway that when I saw this stamp that said, hey, Big Cheese, I was like, oh yeah, I have to have that and I have to send them the card. So I made this card. It's called a Ta-Da diorama and they are the cutest cards. It took me like 2.5 days of crafting time. That's not a full 2.5 days, but it was very tedious at first. But I think now that I've done it, I learned a few things and there's going to be more Ta-Da diorama cards in my future because they're so cute. And then they have a million other things I really want to get. Okay, this is my first Lawn Fawn diorama Ta-Da card. So keep that in mind. It's my first attempt, but it's so cute. I'm totally hooked on these. Little fiddly. Isn't that so cute? Ta-da! Because they're just so cute. So anyway, stay tuned on that. I have some socks I can show you. I finished one of these socks and it was fine, you know, just did the fish lips kiss heel. Then I got this one to the point where I'd done half of the heel and then it sat on my table for, I don't know, like a good couple months. I'd move it periodically, like if the kids came over, we're gonna play games or something, I'd move it. We don't eat at our table anymore, so that wasn't an issue. But it just sat there waiting and waiting. I think because I was thinking, oh, I should sit at the table and finish the other half of this heel. I mean, I don't know. Why do we leave things sitting on our table for a month? I have no idea. But I did. Finished the heel finally, not sitting at the table, ironically. Picked it up, started knitting again. And then I realized when I looked at the other sock that when I had finished this one, when I, picked it up and started knitting after finishing the heel, that I'd gone back into the pattern that I was doing. And on this one, I just started knitting, so they don't even match. You guys, I can't remember what this pattern is. And looking at it and like remembering doing it, it's like on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my brain. I can almost remember it. And I know if I really, if I thought about it and really looked at it, I'd remember. But I kind of don't want to because I want to just be like, yeah, I don't remember. I don't know what I was doing, so I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to undo it. I'm over these socks. I just want to be done. And since probably, I'm not taking them off to take them off. I just kind of have a, okay. Since I probably won't even wear them that much, I don't even care. I just need to be done with them and maybe start another pair to start fresh. Kind of like cutting my hair off, you know, it's going to grow back. It'll be fresh hair, won't be old hair. By the time it grows out, though, there's going to still be old hair there because my hair doesn't grow that fast. I am going to try, sorry, I was putting some lotion on. I am going to try some collagen, maybe some prenatal vitamins. I don't know, because things, and my nails, you know, like nothing good grows like it used to, but all these things that I don't maybe want to grow so much, they grow. Like I'm kind of worried about taking collagen. Where's the hair going to start growing? You know, probably won't be fuller, nicer hair here. It'll be some weird hair in other places, but it's okay. We're not going to talk about that. So yeah, I haven't been knitting a ton, like at all. I am looking to sell a good portion of my remaining yarn. And the reason is because I would like to be able to knit something with yarn that doesn't like make me itch and stuff. There's this thing on my phone. It's bugging me. I meant to turn off my notifications, but I thought, this is going to be a short video. I don't need to worry about the notifications. I can get through it. And I did. There was a couple notifications that came down. I was like, I'm not even going to look at them. But then that one, it just stayed there. And then that's all I could do was think that notification needs to go away. So it's gone now. And another one's probably going to show up. But anyway, back to the yarn. Remember Woolfolk? If you've been with me a while, you know that I bought tons of yarn just because it was pretty over the years, you know, like, oh, that's so pretty. I have to buy it. I don't know what I'm buying it for, but so I ended up with all this really pretty yarn. And then over a period of time, it kind of became clear to me that I can't wear wool for the most part. I can wear a hat sometimes, socks fine, but I can't do anything like around my neck. I can't wear a sweater like that. It itches, it scratches. I always superwash, you know, I always got superwash, and I just can't do it. So I thought about listing it all on Etsy like I did last time because that was a good platform to sell it. It kept things orderly. I didn't even mind the fees because they provide a service, it's fine. But listing it was such a pain. It's such a pain. So I will probably ultimately try that again. I don't know. But if you know that I have certain yarn by dyers that you like, or if you're in the market for something, reach out. If you would, let me know. I'm not going to be trying to get like what I paid for it or anything like that. I know that that's not my goal. I would like to get something out of it, but also I would just like it to go get used. I would like it to be out of here. I'd like to free up a little bit of money so that I could buy more Lawn Fawn stamps, buy some yarn that doesn't make my skin itch or scratch it. So anyway, so there's that going on. Last time, the other day when I recorded a video, I told you all about the hay situation here. I talked, I don't know how long, about our hay fields, me driving the tractor, bucking hay, moving it into the shop, moving it out of the shop, taking it to St. Helens on multiple I talked for so long about hay, and then it occurred to me, I'm sitting here talking about hay. And that's when I realized that I have turned into basically a redneck. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk to you for 10 minutes about hay. But we did do a lot of stuff with a lot of hay, and that was a very enlightening experience to me. I knew I didn't like hay, and I don't like it any more now than I used to. I'm allergic to it, which I know everybody is. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that's not allergic to hay, but had hives, it was just, but it's over for the year. So, okay, so I didn't talk about hay as long as I did last time, so that's a plus. That's like all the knitting I have to show, a blanket and some socks. I pulled out my crochet blanket the other day and started doing a little bit with that, and just not really into that either. I don't know. I know people go through different phases and stuff. I see a lot of things, like when I see what you guys are working on, I always think it's cute, and I still love the yarn. It's so funny. Like, I'm not even using it, and I still like don't want to part with it in a way because it's so pretty. And I recognize I could come back to knitting more stuff at some point. And I'll probably always knit socks, even if I don't wear them a whole lot. I'll wear socks again. I will. Sorry, I should probably edit that out. I don't need to look anymore like an animal. But anyway, so I have a couple other cards I could show you that I did. Speaking of cards, doing cards out of just the pretty paper, I did these cute little cards with these ducks that I didn't even think that I liked this paper. I got it in a paper share, but then I ended up really loving it. I like ducks, I think. I was gonna say I don't want ducks. I do kind of want ducks. We have a pond. Why not have ducks too? Well, my husband would tell you because they poop everywhere. And then this one, which is similar to that one, just going in a different direction. And I signed up on Facebook again just to do this stamping retreat, this virtual stamping retreat, which was fun. I'll show you a couple cards. I actually didn't watch the virtual stamping retreat. I'm going to go back and watch it over time. But a few weeks leading up to their retreat, they put these challenges out to do, and I did 2 of them. There's more. I need to get on and do it. But here was one of them. It was to stamp and then use your embossing folders, which if you're a stamper, you know all about that. But anyway, so I did that. It was kind of fun. And then another challenge was taking, again, the fun paper, which I just become a paper whore. Take the paper, cut it into triangles, and then, because here's one side and that's the other side, and you just flip 2 of them and get that cute little look. And dogs are barking. That's about all I can show you there. I've made other cards, but I've sent them to people. That's what you do. I like to send my cards. I have a couple books I can tell you about. And then, this will just be, if I do record, I think I just have to accept that they're not going to be long videos because I'm just not knitting. And maybe if I start making, oh my gosh, you guys hear Grace? I think that's Grace. Could be Oso. I think that if I get to the point where I'm making cards and having a bunch, because ultimately I'd like to have them that I could donate to, like the Cards for Kindness, but you have to have a certain amount to send. And I don't know. I used to be able to make cards, like I could sit and make 10 cards in an hour or 2. But it takes me a lot longer to make cards now. But we didn't used to have embossing folders. I used to do embossing powders, and I haven't done that hardly at all since picking up the stamping again. Now we use these embossing folders, which I think I've shown you before, but they're really pretty cool. You have, so there's these folders, and it was upside down. That was the problem. And it opens, and then you put your cardstock in and you run it through your machine, one of these things. And then it comes out with this cool dry embossed look. They're really fun. And these embossing folders is why I bought that particular one's called the Big Shot, but all the companies have them. But I bought them for these, and then I hardly ever use these. I need to start using them more because I really do like them. And I never thought that I would use the little die cut things very much. That cut things out. This was part of that card that I made for Renata and Connor, but this piece didn't make it. But it cuts, tearing it all apart. But it cuts them out into the little, I'll show you, in case you're dying to know. Well, because somebody did actually ask me. So you have your you have your stamps, and then you have these little die cuts, and it just, you know, just cuts it out so you don't have to cut it out yourself. I'm glad that I had that little, you know, side trail thing that I just went on, because somebody did ask me after my last video if I would kind of show, and I can appreciate this because when I used to stamp, our stamps used to be these wood blocks and red rubber, and with Stampin' Up! You'd get them and you'd get the red rubber and you'd get the wood block and then you'd put them together. Well, that all changed from the time that I stopped stamping to when I started again. It all changed to these clear stamps, which I totally didn't understand till Lori got me back into it. So I understand why someone might not know, but now you get, I'll stick with Stampin' Up! Just because, here's a, well, actually, that's another one too. Is this okay. Stampin' Up! Actually has two different types. They still have their red rubber stamps, which I don't like as much as the clear ones, but I happen to really like this stamp set. But then they also have the clear stamps that are literally, they're sticking to me. That's a little tiny one. Like here's this truck. Okay. And it's just this clear. And so either one that you're using, you have to get these blocks. There's not a perfect size block for this one, so I'll just show you. I have several different sizes of these clear acrylic blocks, and then it's a little harder to do this way, but your stamp just goes on the block, and then you stamp it, and then you clean it. And it's great for storage. You know, you don't need, I used to have a wall full of stamp sets because they took up so much more space. I definitely like how little space this takes to store. Plus for stamp placement, when you're stamping it onto your cardstock, it's so much easier when you can actually see these, because you can see right where it's going to go on your cardstock. So that's very fun. Very cool. I think that was definitely an improvement in the stamping world. But it was a little intimidating when I came back into stamping. I just was like, what are these clear stamps that they speak of? What are they talking about? And it was a hard, like, you know, change. It's like, we just want to do what we know, but we do want things to be better. And so we have to go through that process of relearning. Not that this was a huge leap, but it was big enough that, you know, it took a little bit. And just all the things that have changed in the stamping world, I guess that happens, like if I'd have been a knitter 40 years ago and then picked up knitting, you know, again, like when I started knitting, I don't even know when I started knitting, but there's always those things that change, and the stamping world was no different. Well, okay, so this flower pot, this kettle here, and the flower, that's all done with, you know, a stamp and then a die cut, and it's just fun. So I know there's other things I wanted to tell you guys, and I probably think that I've told them to you, but that was actually the video that I dumped. But I do have a couple books I wanted to tell you about. This one is great. It's Prayers for Your Adult Children. And I've had a couple of different books about praying for your kids over the years, but this is, so far, seems like it got wet, darn it, has been my favorite. I always hold things down too far. I have one of those magnetic flip bookmarkers in it, which I think are really handy, you know, but kind of wrinkled my page. I don't like that. But what I really like about this one is that each chapter, instead of telling you stories about different families or different kids or whatever, it's just different chapters on, and when I was showing this in the video that I dumped, I realized that they're alphabetical. So I love alphabetical things. Choices, comfort, coping, distance. The distance one, and so each one just has like, you know, a little bit of stuff about it. Mostly scripture, which is nice because I really don't want to hear stories about other people's kids and their issues. And then a little place that you can write some stuff. The chapter on distance, really, there's something point about it that I really liked. I'm just going to share it with you because just to let you in a little bit, my biggest issue or concern is that my kids aren't saved right now. They're not, they were brought up in the church, but right now they're not walking with the Lord. And, that's really heavy on a parent's heart because I spent my whole life, their whole lives trying to protect them. Like, their safety was my number one issue. And now, there's a bigger issue of their safety, like their eternal safety, that concerns me big time. But God's outside of time. And I mean, we could have all sorts of theological discussions about all that, but to bring it back to this distance chapter or day, one of the things that she said I just really loved was that in Luke 15, the father of the prodigal son didn't go chasing after his child. When the son returned home, the father was filled with love and compassion and welcomed him. And, for me, I want to convince my kids of this, that, or the other thing. I want them, to see things the way I think that they should see them. And this isn't based on what I think. I mean, I just want them to accept Jesus as their savior. That's like all I want. But this really helped me to think about, I don't need to chase them down. I don't need to, hold them down until they say what I want them to say. That's not gonna achieve what ultimately we want. But anyway, if you are someone who wants to pray for your kid, I mean, who doesn't want to pray for their kids, but this is a good book. That's all I'm trying to say. It's a good book. I really like it. And then another book that I just finished listening to on Audible. Let's see if I don't think I actually have Audible on my iPad, so I'm not sure I can bring it up, but it's by Bob Fu, F-U. It's an American name. God's Double Agent, I think is what it's called, is a man who was born in China who became a believer over in China, which is a big no-no. And anyway, it's about his whole deal. Well, he's my age, so it's very significant. Like, this isn't stuff from, a long time ago. This is like significant to, the stuff that he went through. A lot of it, like, he's been in America for probably 20 years now, if not longer. But anyway, it was a good book. I'll put it maybe in the show notes here. I'll pop a picture in so you can see. But it was really good. It was very just a good book. So I always like good book recommendations. And since I used to, like, my genre of books that I read has greatly changed over the years. So I don't know. That's always it. What I'm saying here is, if you want a book recommendation, I'm happy to share my book recommendation. If you don't, fine. Just like anything else. Well, that's all I have to say, which seems like nothing. So sorry for that. I still don't even know if this video is going to make the cut because I just don't feel like I have a whole lot that I'm sharing, especially re-recording a video a couple days after thinking that I'd recorded a video. So, but we'll see what happens. So anyhow, I do hope that everything's going good with you. Oh, I do want to show you. I got this new sticker for my water bottle. Isn't that great? My hope is in the Lamb. It's got the two angry guys. And then someone had shown that on Instagram. I don't remember who, but I appreciate it because I went and bought one. I like it. So, okay. You guys take good care and see you around.